Hi there, my name's Elizabeth and I'm part of the digital imaging team at the British Library in London. Here at the British Library we digitise collections made from a variety of materials from around the world, from palm leaves and newspapers to photographic negatives and scrolls. Different materials present unique challenges to the digitisation process. There are some key principles to follow when working with any kind of collection item. There are tools available to help lay the collection item you're shooting out flat so that it's clearly visible. At the British Library, we often use Plastazote, which is an inert foam that will not damage your items. Book cradles to support all books. Plastic fingers to hold the page steady, and conservation weights. Use backing paper or a non-reflective surface underneath your collection item to minimise any reflections from your lighting source. Ensure that the item is central in the frame and the space surrounding it is clear of debris. If you're using a colour checker, make sure it's not touching the item. Make sure that your image fills the frame as much as possible with not too much extra space around it. If you're shooting a particularly small item, consider using a macro lens to capture the item in detail. If the manuscript is damaged and you can see sections of the page beneath, use a soft backing material that is similar or the same in colour and size to the item page. If the item is particularly fragile, refer to the conservation video based on handling items correctly. If you're shooting a manuscript with a tight spine, the page you're shooting can appear distorted. To fix this, attempt as much as possible to keep the page flat without damaging it by using, for example, a plastic finger and a piece of Plastazote. If you are shooting a photographic negative, you will need to use a light box to illuminate the negative from underneath, and black paper to mask the area around it. It's not necessary to use any additional lighting when working with negatives. As they are small items, using a macro lens is advised to capture as much detail as possible. In a situation like this, it's best to shoot with a slower shutter speed, such as 1/8 of a second, as the item is brightly lit from behind. With some planning in advance, these common problems can be overcome using these principles and tools.
This tutorial is part of our online video series covering digitization, digital preservation and conservation for the Endangered Archives Programme. Please feel free to explore these resources at eap.bl.uk/training videos.